Just recently, DoorDash invited me out to San Francisco to their headquarters, which was like a totally awesome event where they were able to share the future of DoorDash, behind the scenes of DoorDash, and also product roadmap for the future. They even went through a policy deep dive with us, and we actually got to go on like a actual dash with a DoorDash employee, which you also can see this on this video right over here. We also went into like a breakout session where we got to talk about our dash, and also they even picked our brains of our thoughts and feelings of what needs to change. What are we experiencing as we dash? And I had a pretty good time with that. But this was like an awesome time, and I was not the only one that was there. We actually had Mike from Your Driver Mike, Marco from Nova Hustles, JB from Travel JB, Richard from Sin City Deliveries, Louise from Delivery TV, and Bentley from DoorDash Diaries. And what a crew it was. And we didn't hold back on our questions and thoughts. What exactly the things that you have been thinking and feeling, we shared those things, and we're about to talk about it. And with our meeting with Tony Xu, who is the CEO of DoorDash, it really felt like he was like open and honest and really wanted to hear what we had to say. It really genuinely felt like this wasn't just like a one-sided thing. He was just want to step in and step out. It wasn't that type of a thing. He actually wanted to know, what are we going through? And someone even brought up tips. Then we can still see the same aspect and just base pay as well, which was like more of a balance between it all. Because if you increase one thing, something else has to pay for it. And I know what a lot of you may be thinking, well, DoorDash has so much money where it needs to come out of their pocket. Okay, I can see how you can think that. And technically, I don't know the exact numbers of how much they make and how much this goes here and that goes there. So I can't really give you like the numbers broken down like that. But one thing he did give assurance on is that Dashers are here to stay. There is going to be something for us. We're not going to just be tossed to the side by this little cute little thing right here. They're not going to be taking over the food delivery industry. And I also was able to get my picture with it. And it's really funny how they made it say like hi Phil on there. I was like, oh wow, that was cool. They even had like they turned into like and subscribe. Anyways, we had a lot of fun with it. As you even see Bentley right there, we're kind of messing around. But you know what? Even as we see right here, as these things are being rolled out of like a distribution type of place. It's not going to be like at a specific restaurant, but it's actually going to be in one primary location where they can actually come up to the restaurant. What's going to happen is they're going to actually put the order inside, and it's going to go ahead and deliver that order. Now, I don't know how many of these they're going to try to roll out all at one time and what type of area, but it's going to be really interesting. Another really interesting, you got all these little sensors, you got all this little everything that's in this thing, and they actually say that it's actually temperature control, so thought that was pretty cool. But these things can't really, they say it's weather resistant, but it can only take so much. So it's really, when it comes to rain, it's like a little bit like, not so much here. This thing actually goes like 20 miles an hour. So it's not like a speed demon or anything, but this is like a little bot here that can really handle like some of these routes that's really close by. Hopefully get rid of these $2, $3 orders. And we see right here, customer picks it up and there it goes on its merry way. And there it goes. Also, what was really interesting about this, Tony even brought up how even though these things might need serviced, and even us as Dashers might even have opportunities to help service these things. That was interesting. I don't know how much we could get paid for it. I have no idea. Maybe it kind of falls over. Maybe it tumbles over. Maybe it just gets stuck and we have to push it out. I don't know what this could mean. It's kind of really put up in the air. Not too sure what type of task that could be to come. Now, during this Dasher product roadmap, this is what was really interesting. Oh man, we all agreed. We was just there probably like 30, 45 minutes, but this could have been like at least at the minimum of 3 hours. This was that good. This was that in depth. This was that we just got into the nitty gritty. I mean, we was like, this is where it is. But let's go ahead and let's get started with this thing, because we actually talked about the Dasher app. That was the easy thing, talking about the Dasher app that they just rolled out, a lot of new things that we're actually seeing today. We also even talked about how they're actually making it where we can actually see how busy it really is on the app. And it's going to show these little bars of showing how busy it actually is. So that was interesting. The next interesting thing was the wait list that they were talking about. They understand there's a lot of people on the wait list. They also talked about when people do get on the wait list, sometimes there's going to be a place called a reserve area, and some places are going to be blocked. And those newer Dashers are going to have to qualify for the zone. So that was very interesting. Then we got flash offers. These flash offers, they can be 15, 20-ish dollars, and that could be very well worth it. But here's the thing about flash offers. You're not going to get this while you're dashing. You're going to get these flash offers when you're not dashing, where you could be just doing just about anything, whether it's around your house and you're cooking a meal, or you're mowing the lawn, or you're just out doing groceries. You could be getting these flash offers at any time when you're not on the DoorDash platform. And these are going to be very attractive offers, and it might be a little hard to resist sometimes, actually. It's almost like one of those too good to be true type of things. But the thing about it is, on our Dasher preferences, it's actually going to show where you can actually toggle on flash offers. Then we also see here on the right side where you can actually kind of schedule out when you actually are available to see these type of flash offers, which is really interesting, such as certain days of the week, certain times within those days of the week. So this is not everywhere. It's just in a very few places, and I don't even know what those places are, but it's not going to be in like a really busy place. It's going to be most likely in like a slower place where they're trying to get these orders pushed out. But here we go to one of the biggest animals that we talked about, and that is overall Dasher rating. And this is my personal account here, where you see I think it was like a week ago or so, 77 out of 100 points. Then of course we see my acceptance rating only had like 15 total points, but it puts me at 44%. My completion rating, I have 11 points with 98. And the on-time rating, of course, right now I'm 30 of 30 at 100%. But this was the baby right here where we actually dove like a long time on, because there's been so many bugs with this. There's been so many issues with this, because there's been Dashers out there being penalized for even a restaurant taking a long time, and it's been against the Dasher. I've heard about that. It hasn't happened to me personally, but I have heard it from you all, from your comments that y'all put below, and even other people talking about it on their channel as well. So it's just like, wow. Now during this conference, there was people that they actually witnessed, hey, I was actually stopped by a train and it took the train forever, and that was theirs. And then somebody else said that they were slowed down because it was actually wanting me to take a toll, and that was not the route I was going to take, because I'm not going to pay for all of that. But whatever the circumstance was, this is actually something that's actually in the works. DoorDash is actively working on this thing to try to make this thing more fair for the Dasher, such as the auto exclusion, and also trying to give Dashers more power to do disputes. So even though it may not be perfect right now, the changes are coming. And this overall Dasher rating is just slowly integrating in waves right now. It's like, it might be like a 5-10% of the country right now, but this thing is slowly creeping itself in here, for better or for worse. But still yet, as these wrinkles get ironed out, they are wanting to hear our feedback and what's actually going on with these dashes. Now we can look at the quality rating. When the quality rating, there hasn't been like as much issue, but we did talk about it. We also talked about the customer ratings, also the 30-day orders. Now this really helps out for those dashers that are part-time and they can't actually just get like 100 orders on a 30-day rolling period. So just like even me, I'm like 1 of 5 points as I only have 73 out of 100. I've been struggling to get out there every now and then. But I know there's been days, there's been weeks, there's been months, especially when I had to dash, when I was like easily over 200 deliveries, even pushing 300 deliveries in a month. So I've been there and felt like I've been full-time before. But here's the big thing here. This is what I struggle with, which was the acceptance rating. Where most people struggle with the on-time rating, for me, it was the acceptance rating, because you can even see on one of my videos on Your Driver Map channel, and also see on my channel here at Dasher Feel, of just like when this overall Dasher rating came, it just waterfalled me. It just almost collapsed my acceptance rating, and I just couldn't do much about it because I kept on getting upside down orders. Of course, I told them all of this, and they kind of clarified where my location is, and of course, this is kind of something that they're going to look at, because this is kind of what they do, as in the product team, because they want to make things better for the dashers. But now let's look at something really interesting. Now this is my rating system right here in the South Dallas area, where it shows platinum. It says 80 plus points. So you gotta be 80 or higher to be platinum status. Now, that's in the Dallas area. But when I was in San Francisco, it was 75 plus points. So that was really interesting, because I went down there thinking, oh, I'm gold status. But when I turned my app on, I was platinum. I was like, what in the world? And I was like, wait a minute, it says 75 points. That's different. Then I look at the gold, it says 65 to 74, and this part is San Francisco. Then you go back to Dallas, it's 70 to 79 points for gold. Then you see the silver in the Dallas area from 60 to 69. Then you go over and see in San Francisco, it's 60 to 64. So how interesting is that? And you know what? Why didn't I not ask? I had like a whole list of things on my phone, things I was going to talk to DoorDash about. But you know, I didn't put that. I should have put that on the list, but I already had my list already pre-done beforehand. But man, why didn't I not ask? I don't know. But if I ever get the chance anytime soon, not say wait until next year or anything, but anytime soon, I'm going to ask this question. Why is it so much different? Because the only thing I can actually think about is these two marketplaces are different. I'm thinking maybe San Francisco is a lot busier, a lot more orders. Because you know what? When I was in San Francisco and I was right there in that downtown area, it was crazy, y'all. It was so much going on. I saw drivers on these bikes, and it was just like, it was like one after the other. There's going here, going there. It was just like they were everywhere picking up these orders. And it was like, wow. And you can actually see a picture of that on my page. So it's really cool. Take a look at it. Now, here we go with something else that we talked about, which is DashLink. DashLink is a whole different animal than actual food delivery. This is going to be package delivery, such as Roadie or Amazon Flex. Now, in my market, I've had some issues just trying to actually get on. There might only be like 20 available opportunities, and I'm on the wait list, and I'm like 200 and something or 300 and something. But one awesome thing is I'm actually only 10 miles away from this place. I was like, oh, that's actually a lot better than I thought, because now there's 2 locations that I'm aware of. So not too shabby. But this is just another way that DoorDash is keeping on innovating, keep on rolling out with new things. You have to keep on innovating so you can continue to grow. Because if you stay stagnant as a company, you're not going to go anywhere, and you might not be here in a few years. But if you keep on trying, and sometimes you miss, but sometimes you hit. That's something that even Tony was talking about. You got to keep trying new different things to continue to innovate. But here we're going to talk about this next thing, which is probably number 2 on the list, which is being like, let's just call it high profile. And that is Pro Shopper. Because with Pro Shopper, you get actually priority access to high paying shopping offers that pay 30% or more I'm just like, really? That much? I know in my area, I'm most likely not going to be able to get this. Because as we were all talking amongst each other, we all pretty much said Dollar General. Dollar General was just like one of those things, and when that one person said it, everybody's like, oh man, Dollar General, oh gosh. Yeah, it was like that. The reason being, if you're not aware, because Dollar General, especially, I've witnessed this myself. There's been so many times I go in and they do not have the item. And that is what's hurt Dashers so much, because it still went against us, even though the store is the one that's actually out of stock. But DoorDash is actually really working on this as well. And I even see that there's an update coming in just a few days that shows on my app. It says like 21 more days. So hey, the update is coming, because what they're trying to do is actually promote fairness on the shopping experience. And one of those ways that they're going to do that is you now have to take a picture, but not like this. You don't take a picture of the whole area or that whole aisle. What you have to do is take a picture more like this right here, right up to it where the item is supposed to be and where it shows the tag, and you take a picture of that area. And we're actually supposed to get credit and it not go against us. Because how many times have we gotten things go against our original items found or total items found? These are the two big issues when it comes to pro shopping. And my numbers are like horrific, because I have like 4 Dollar Generals all near me. And I feel like I even told this in the event too. I was like, I got them all around me. It's like I'm cornered in and I'm in the middle and there's like nothing I can do. But hey, all is well. Hopefully when this thing rolls out, maybe I can try it again. Maybe. But also when we actually went into the meeting part where they really broke us down into to a really small group, interviewing us, really trying to get into some details, trying to get to know more about what we've experienced. And there's this one lady, she was just typing everything I said. I was like, wow, that's amazing. But some of those things I said, and here's one of the biggest things that I had, which is I might get an order from here in McDonald's where I'm at in my zone, but I'm getting pinged from that same McDonald's in my zone going to another zone where they already have 1 or 2 McDonald's in that zone. And there's no reason why or any Dasher get this order and travel it 10 miles away, where that customer should have ordered from the actual zone that they're in. Or if it's not on the customer picking it, it's the algorithm that's actually choosing it for them. Either way, something needs to happen where they're actually getting their food from the most and closest restaurant. Because if it's going to be ordered over here, that food's going to get cold and the restaurant is going to lose money anyway. So that ain't good. Then they also want to know about money to miles ratio and why it was so important. But the miles to money ratio helps you keep on track with your money, because we have so many expenses that we have to do, such as keeping up with our gas, oil changes, just car maintenance in general, the tires that we go through. So the money is a mile ratio, whether we're trying to make $20 an hour, $25 an hour, or $30 an hour, whatever we're trying to make, it's important so we can pay for all this stuff. And we're not just doing this for free and just doing this as charity work. So if we're going to be picking up a $2 plus per mile, that's going to make sense. $1.75, okay. $1.50, all right. $1.25, you're starting to push it. And then we got the $1 per mile. It's like, ugh, I really don't want to take that. But sometimes as a Platinum Dasher, there are times where I might just like, okay, I'm just gonna get this over with right fast, and it's not that far. I'm just get it with. It's not even busy right now. Ugh. Or they're just another offer and they're just stacking it on. I'm like, it's an extra $4. Let's just get it over with. It's like 0.5 miles. And I just kind of eat it like that. Now on this next one is the policy public session. Now this is actually interesting. I really wasn't really knowledgeable about this. I didn't know about this at all until I actually came to this event. They also talked about different charities that they were involved in, how they're helping the people in the area, and especially in the time that we actually just kind of came through with the government shutdown. But they really told a lot about how they've been helping in the community, which is really awesome. Here is Project Dash, that they're actually moving forward in our community all across the United States. And as you kind of scroll down, you also see like delivering food as medicine, and talks about how Project Dash's impact and Project Dash partners include all of these places right here. So they're actually not alone in this to really help impact the community. And now DoorDash has something called DashRoots, which has over 200,000 members in 50 states and 4 countries. And as you scroll down, you could actually see a lot of their recent legislative victories that they've had, whether it's from Wisconsin, Illinois, and Dashers taking on a stand with no tax on tips. Then it's just really empowering the local voices that are in our communities. And the thing about that is you can actually still get involved with that yourself. And I will leave a link down below so you can also check it out. But I hope you got value out of this video. And if you would, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and see me in the next video.